Getting ready to do this again. Missed last week. Feels like I haven't been here forever. Feels like I've been gone for a very long time. Final preparations here. I see Simple Sam is here. Hello, Simple Sam. Oh, and Martin Crockett now reporting for duty. Awesome. I feel good now. Twitch reggaeton. Very funny. Well, Sam is asking me my opinion on reggaeton. Just like everything, there's good and there's bad. Ready to go here, another half a minute or so. Okay, how about we do this? Hello, everybody. Welcome me back. I was gone last week. I don't know if anybody noticed. I hope you did. Yeah, I had a thing and I couldn't make it. So, but I did let you know the week before that I wasn't coming. But I'm here. I'm back again. My name is Abe Duque. I will be your streamer for the hour. My name is Abe Duque, as I said, and we are watching 343 TV, or you're watching 343 TV. We are here Fridays and Saturdays at 1 p.m. Today is my show, Production Basis. Tomorrow is John Selway's show. He's either going to do techno or he's going to do electro. So we got to figure it out when the day comes, a lot of the time. Yeah, it seems like ages, says Simple Sam, that I haven't been here. It does really seem like a very long time to me that I was gone. It was good because I got to refresh a little bit and, get some ideas for upcoming shows. Every week doing this is always a challenge to figure out what to talk about because you guys get bored if I don't switch it up. Anyway, today we're going to be playing with an old friend of mine. And let me show you what that old friend is. Let me get that overhead going here. This is my Minimoog Voyager. One of my favorite synths. Definitely one of the favorite synths I've ever owned. There's maybe top 2 or 3 synths that I've ever owned. And this thing is it's a beast, as maybe you all know. I wanted to make some music with it, but I wanted to start with making some sounds with it. I wanted to kind of just break down how it's working. Basically, let's do a bit of sound design talk, subtractive synthesis style, original subtractive synthesis style. And let's see how this thing is actually laid out and made. So this Voyager is an updated version of the original Minimoog Model D, but it's Bob Moog's one of the last instruments that he worked on, and it was his kind of modernization of this Model D. The Model D came out of the inspiration that he had from all the Moog modulars that would come back to him for servicing, and he would realize how they were all patched, and they all had some sort of very common patch setup. So he created a synthesizer. Now that's called a synthesizer, but back then we didn't call it a synthesizer. But he created this device that had all of that patching already, the architecture patched inside already. Because he figured most people are doing this anyway, so let's just give it to them so that you could just turn it on, have a keyboard set up with it, and some knobs corresponding to the parameters on it, but no patching required. The patching is fun. I mean, I'm very much into patching. You see back behind me, there's a lot of patching equipment, but can be sometimes off-putting for certain people that want to just get down and make sounds. So this Voyager is a newer version of the Minimoog. It has things like Midi and other things that like this XY pad that the original didn't have. So let's see, how does this thing work? Let's first of all, let me just set up the panel so it stops being a preset and just kind of adheres to everything going on here on the panel. So let me enter that and say yes to this and enter that. So now what we have, and I have an effect on it. I'll take the effect off for now from my rack so we could just hear the plain sound. So what is it? Well, in order to make a sound, we need a tone generator, basically an oscillator. And this one packs 3 of them. There's one that we could turn them on here. This is a mixer section here where we could turn on the 3 different oscillators and a noise generator. So 4 sources for sound. Let's turn off all of them except for one. Got that one going here. Let's open up the decay on the volume envelope. So this one can be tuned by using the foot selector here. So Let's keep that one there at 16 feet. And then we can turn this knob here, which is going to give us the selection of the waveform that we're playing. Unlike the original had this clicky sort of knob where you would go between waveforms. And this one kind of just morphs between one waveform and the other, starting at like a triangular sort of sine wave thing, going into a saw, going into a square, which has a different pulse width as you move it back and forth here. That's one nice synth. Yes, Simple Sam, it is one nice synth. Okay, so we have a sound, and now I have some parts here that I just kind of threw in here so we can just play some sounds with it. Let's get this going, and let's get a kick drum going on there. So we have this one sound based on this one oscillator, but I could add more oscillators to it. I could say, well, give me the oscillator 2. And as you see, or hear, we have an oscillator this is the section for oscillator 2, that I can select the waveform for it here, the volume for it here, and the octave here. Let's keep that higher like that. Let's open up the filter so we hear the full range of the sound. We'll close and play with the filter a little later. Hey, Nefertiti Gold is here. Nefertiti, I'm always watching your TikToks. I'm always liking it. So if you're wondering who's liking my TikToks, I'm one of those that are liking your TikToks. Okay, so one oscillator, no oscillator, one oscillator, two oscillators. We pick the range of the pitch. I could even detune it, which would make weird sounds off of the original. The original is kind of the baseline oscillator, and then the other two kind of work off of it. So I could be right on it or a little detuned off of it if I wanted to. And I could pick which waveform I want to use here. Now let's get a third one going. So this is going to be 3, which again I can select the octave range here and the waveform here. Now all of that can go through this, or goes through this filter section here. Filter in a subtractive synthesis sort of scenario is how you control the tone of a sound. So you need an oscillator to start the sound, and then that goes into the tone section, which is usually filtering. And in this case, we have a couple of situations that we could set up here for ourselves. It starts with this dual low pass filter, and I could actually switch it to be a high pass and a low pass. So I have two choices. So in the dual low pass filter, it's very interesting because it makes a very stereo filter situation happen. There's a spacing knob here. There's actually right now 2 filters playing at the same time. But with the spacing knob, I could change what one does from the other. And as you hear it, it gets really stereo now. So one filter is more open than the other one. And if I space them a lot, you'll get a really big difference here in the opening and closing. I mean, in the position of the filter cutoff off of the dual ones. And I can go the other way. And so if I wanted a very stereo sounding filter situation, I could work the spacing knob. Now that might be a little tricky when you're working with low end, like bass sounds, because you don't want to get a phase situation going. But not bad. Anyway, so let's just keep it center, like, you know, a classic filter setup, basically working as a mono filter, but it's a dual filter. And let's play with the resonance a bit. So resonance is going to add a bit of amplitude at the cutoff. So giving it that, and you could hear that self-resonating. That's beautiful Moog ladder filter that does that self-resonating action. With a little bit of reverb, that would sound great. You hear that extra little action with that self-resonating filter. Very nice. But you got to be careful with resonance, because if I don't take care, I could hurt somebody with it if you go too high. So let's take away some of this, make this a little louder, and play with the setups over here. Play with the volume control on the mixer here. I think that kick drum's a little loud, so let's lower that kick drum. I have some other parts in here. So now that we laid it out, we can start to work with some presets maybe. But I wanted to just kind of give you an idea of how this synth works. So once again, it's 3 oscillators which can be layered on top of each other. There's a 4th oscillator here, it's a noise generator. Let's see if we get that going. Let's turn off the other ones and get some noise. So that noise isn't going to pop off until I open up the cutoff, but you hear it now. Those oscillators again. It's a beautiful sounding synth. Let's add a little bit of delay to it. Not bad. Let's do a little bass here. Now there's a modulation section, or a couple of modulation sections here. Well, one for the modulation that can be tied to the mod wheel, and then a free-floating modulation setup that we can have, you know, just applied here, but with the amount. We could select the source of modulation. In this case, it's right now set up to 2 triangle waves, and then set the destination over here in these knobs. So let's do pitch on these and add a little modulation. If it's a little longer, maybe you could hear. Let's add the amount too. There it goes. You can go really nuts with the modulation. So this is for the mod wheel, so that lets you do that. So basically what I'm doing right now is wobbling the pitch of it. I could do something else. I could modulate individual oscillators or just a filter. That's sort of giving you like that. Let's change that rate. I've tied the rate to the Midi of the output of Ableton, so it stays to the beat. So you get some really interesting rhythmic results. Sort of wobbly there. Let's increase it. And play with the cutoff. Now there's a envelope section, and we've been playing with the envelope section for the and the envelope is going to control the way that the parameters show up over time. In this case, this one here is the volume envelope. So this lets me open up the decay, play with the attack of the volume, and the sustain and the release. But we have a filter one as well, which is really nice because when we're using a filter, we can give some motion to that filter to add amount to it. See how this filter motion in there? Let's just do the attack and decay for the filter. So right now we're just kind of giving the filter instructions as to how to present over time. Right now it's coming in as fast as it can, open, and then it's closing down with this decay. I could slow down the close down of it, of that filter with the decay. Let's slow down the opening of the filter. Yes, doing that. Rising. And filter envelopes are great for expression in the sound and giving the sound movement. Now you can ask Abe live questions. Yes, we can ask Abe live questions now. Now, let me stop it for a second. So, it's a great synthesizer, amazing synthesizer. What else did I miss here? So let's just do a little recap. It has three main oscillators, which you can go between a sort of sine wave triangle thing to all the way deep pulse width on a square wave and anywhere in between, which is really nice that you can kind of morph between these waves, sort of like a wavetable in Ableton would do. The same goes for all three of those oscillators. Those three oscillators can then be presented here in the mixer section, which I can turn them on and off individually here, on and off, and combine them however I like, pitch them differently so I can, detune them off each other, make some weird stuff or just some fatter stuff, because detuning is sometimes a secret to fatter sounds. Select the octave range for each one of these three oscillators. And all of them go through one filter setup. So unlike another sort of configuration you might imagine where each one of these oscillators would get their own filter, this is not the case. All the three filters kind of sum up together and go through the one filter section. All the oscillators go through one filter section. The filter is a dual filter, so we have two low pass filters, or we could switch it here to a high pass / low pass filter, which gives you kind of a specialized band pass filter. Resonance here. This is the spacing button. We played with that a little earlier. And this is our envelope section. The volume envelope, ADSR, is found here. And the filter section, the ADSR for the filter section is there. Here's our modulation buses, and we have two. And I think you could turn the third oscillator into a third modulation source if you wanted to. So you can go here, 3 frequency could be low, which means it becomes another LFO. And you could also do some FM, which is really nice with this. Anyway, that's the primary layout of this thing. Now, I'm working it through through Ableton. And as you can see, when I play in Ableton, the sound, it shows that I'm triggering the keyboard, and I can write a new sound with that. Now, that's because I've set a MIDI cable out of this Minimoog into the MIDI interface, and also a cable into this Minimoog from the computer through the MIDI interface. Those two situations are great, but I have to, in order to work this perfectly, I have to go into the preference in here and turn off what they call local MIDI, which means that now the only way to play my Minimoog is going to be via Ableton. So right now I have Ableton ARM for recording, as you see. If I take ARM for recording off and I play the keyboard, nothing happens. I can't play the Minimoog anymore. And that's because I've disabled it inside so that it doesn't route the keyboard directly to the Minimoog brain. The keyboard now is separated and moved into Ableton first, which it bounces back to the brain. And that's the way that you have to configure these things in order to get it to work. Because if you don't configure it that way, what you're going to get is a double MIDI note playing, because you'll be playing this. So that'll trigger this one, but it'll also send the one into Ableton, and that'll come back into this. And you'll have like a double MIDI note, and that might cause a very nasty glitch that you might not want to be a part of. So, so yeah, you do have to learn how to disable, and a lot of synths, most synths have this functionality where you can go inside the synth and disable. It's called local usually, the local control, meaning that the keyboard will not go directly to the brain of the synthesizer anymore. That it just works as a MIDI controller, which you can now send in there and receive through Ableton, which is cool because that means that I can now use this as the controller for my whole setup. Well, so I could have this playing my bass line here, and if I switch, let me take too much effect in this. And if I switch to another sound, like I have a wavetable synth over here, I can go over here, click on it, and now I could use this keyboard to control that wavetable sound, and it doesn't interfere. I can use it in a way that has nothing to do with actually playing any sounds from this Minimoog. Okay, I'm trying to read the chat for a second. Somebody saying my only dream is to reincarnate into a Minimoog Voyager in my next life. Yeah, I understand. I totally understand. Okay, again, if you guys have any questions or anything you want me to discuss, I'm totally available for that. So once again, I'm routing this MIDI through a MIDI interface, turning off the local so that I can't play the MIDI, the synth directly from the synth. That the keyboard only works as a module. It's a control keyboard to control Ableton, which then bounces the MIDI back to the brain here, which is going to be a lot of fun. All right, let's get some sounds for a minute here. Let's just switch over. Now that we know how this thing works, let's record some. Let's start a track. That's my basic idea for today, was to start a track with this Minimoog. And I have a few bass lines that I was playing with before we started. I figured I get that going. I don't want to sit there and write bass lines in front of you. Let's see, there's that one. Kind of like that one. That's nice too. Just kind of looking for a typical house sort of setup. That's pretty typical. I'm gonna pick one very soon. Okay, let's take that number one there. Let's take that there. So one other really cool thing about it is that since the MIDI control is being piped into Ableton and back into the synth here, not only does the keyboard transmit, but also the knobs. Every one of these knobs transmits into Ableton, and I could actually record movements. So if I were to go, and let's open up Ableton a little more so that we could see it better. So if we were to go here and arm this for recording and turn up MIDI overdubbing on. And I can play with the filter. And the filter should be picking up. See, picking up those actions now. Now that is recorded directly into the clip. If you look at this, it's this MIDI control. It's a generic purpose 4, it's called, I guess. But all the ones that you see on here, these are all these, they're called different names in there, but all the parameters that you see on that list are all these knobs already ready to go and be mapped right into or recorded right into Ableton. So I can do some really fun things with this. So as I'm going to start recording some of these parts because I want to record audio. So I want to write more than one part with the Minimoog. I just, don't want to use it just to play one part. So let's turn off the envelope there. Let's clear that envelope. Get that plucky bass going. And I want that kind of plucky bass set up here. Now I'm going to set up this to record from MIDI 1 or 1 MIDI, which is, it's going to take its audio from there, which, where is it? So, all right, so it's the actual external in. I got to record from either 3 or 4. That's where I'm going. Right, the bass lines are writing themselves again. Funny comments. Okay, so let's record that real quick. So record a basic version of that, and now let's do one with a little bit of modulation in it. Now, even though I can record these movements with MIDI modulation that gets recorded as an automation lane, I'm just recording audio right now. Let's play with the resonance too. By the way, while I'm recording this pass, you're watching 343 TV. My name is Abe Duque. I'm an instructor at 343 Labs. Come to our website, 343labs.com, and check out our class schedule. Maybe you get excited and come and take a class with us. Anyway, and if you like what you're seeing, please give me a like, because I like to impress my friends with all the likes that you guys give me. Okay, I got enough, I think, and I'm gonna use that already as a jump off point. Rename this, call this bass. Let's do that. Now I don't need it to play from 2 sources, so I just need it to play from there now. Nice. So let's play another one of these patterns and find some other sounds. This thing sounds great. I'll write some more parts in a second, but I just want to kind of go on a little bit of a fishing expedition right now. Interesting sounds. I think I need to put some effects on these though. They're a little dry. Let's quick thing is you can quickly just start to edit these sounds. I like that. That's nice. I'm going to record it with the effect on it. Do you get latency on the clips, Abe? Let's see. We can see what the latency we're working with is. Let me just turn on the send for the effects. Let's check it. So, I'm going to record it in another part here. setup. I guess a 3 and 4 because it's going to be stereo. And let's see how that records. And let's see how it looks pretty tight, but it's definitely a little bit off. So let's just inspect it now. Let's look at it closer. So yeah, a little latency happening there. Let's see if we could fix that. Let's go to the preferences and check for how. So I have 256 samples. That's pretty low, and that should be low enough. Let's see if I can get away with 128. That's going to be. Let's see how much tighter that makes it. Let's record that. Okay. So I'll need that. I'll do that again. Here we go. So, you know, it's not perfect, but let's have a look at the let's like zoom in once this is done here recording. Let's zoom in and see how perfectly off it is. So it's just a little bit off. Let's see how that bass line turned out. How, you know, looking at it, you know, it's just a teeny bit off. I guess I could move the start position on both of these to like make it be a little tighter. And let's do this one too. Take the second one. Let's make this one. Yeah, this one maybe is a little more off, no? So where's the beginning here? Let's just take the start position point there. That's not bad. That's pretty tight. I mean, that kick is coming, you know, right on time, and it doesn't sound off. I mean, you could, there's a little bit of a tolerance that you could have for, you know, you do have a little bit of leeway with how latent the sound is before it starts to bother you or be a problem. And sometimes latency could actually be a little bit of an interesting thing. You add a little more kind of a lazy groove to it or whatever. James Porsche says my RD9 does the same thing. Okay, let's get some more parts. So I don't know what I'm going to call this part. I don't know, something. And let's get another one of these parts played into this synth. And again, I'm going fishing. I like that. Let's play a little bit with the sound itself. Let's make it a slow attack. Higher pitch sound better. Let's detune a little bit. I don't want that. All right, we'll get that in there. Remember, we're gathering parts once again to start another track. And once again, we'll set it to record on 3 or 4. 3 or 4 is the input. I have a few different inputs, as you could see, and 3 and 4 is the input that I have set up for recording this Moog. So we'll take that and record it. Now, the fact that we're at 128 samples with the buffer might make a bit of a problem for us as we keep on adding things to it. All right, let's just close that off and play another part and look for another fish for another sound. You gotta fish, especially when your brain is being used up by things like trying to run a stream. What's that? I'm gonna record that. Get another channel going in there. I'll just record right in here and I'll separate them later. I'll just do a little modulation on that. Sounds real funky. Stop recording a second. Okay, we got that one. Let's go to another one. Grab another fishing. We will go. Shorten the pattern. Shorten that. That's nice. Let's add a little more. Again, I'm on a fishing expedition here, a gathering mission. I'm just gonna grab that. Okay, just need a little bit of it. Let's get the next one. Okay, I'm just gonna grab that and then fool around with the sound while it's recording. That spacing is really nice. Makes it real big in stereo. I'm not going to use all these sounds, but why not just keep them for now? Okay, let's try the next one. Put some vocals. Yeah, okay. I will eventually. Let's try another sound. Let's keep on looking for sound. Beautiful sounds. I could play with this all day. I often do. I'm gonna stop soon at the sound. Yeah, I'm gonna take the weird one. Oh, I've been recording that. Look at that. Okay, so I have a big pass of all sorts of stuff. But I'm gonna take the weird one. Why not? The fact that these beautiful knobs exist, it's so nice to play with this. And it just draws you into like just wanting to be musical with it, you know? So little different of an experience than playing with a mouse. A mouse really kind of... Okay, I got enough of that one. I'll do one more, and then we'll try to play some other parts with some other synths. And maybe write some drums and stuff. Let's go to the next one. And maybe we'll just play some... Sample and hold. Okay, just grab us a couple of those. You'll see how this comes together, and it just feels like I'm goofing around here, which I am. But you gotta let yourself goof around with this stuff, especially when you're playing in such a nice garden here. Okay. All right, so let's look at some of these parts that we have here. Make these a little smaller so that and stops playing them. And I got this one here. And let's look at the other parts that we have. Okay, that could be it. Let's grab a couple of tracks here. Make them ready for... That's nice. We'll just put that there to the side. And what else do we have? It's also nice, but we'll put it to the side. You'll see when we use that. Oh yeah, that could be used right now. Again, that one we'll use at another point. This one I'm really feeling. How about this one? Let's see what this is. Oh, that's that long take I did. Let's try this. And that's the weird one I did. I like that though. I'll take that off the bat and start using it. And what's this last one? Another weird one. Let's see if I put both of those. I'll put those weird ones and I call it weirdness here. And I'll switch between these two. One thing though, I always like to change the color of these clips so that I have a separation between these clips. Now it's starting to come together nicely. Let's get some more drums involved. So I got this kick going. Let's get another cell in here. So this is the kick here. Let's get another one next to it to play. Maybe we'll do all these drum synths here. We'll do the FM one here, and we're gonna need a hi-hat, and I suppose we'll need a snare, and well, so that one's there now. So that's that note right there, and so let's write a part with that real quick while we're still here. So let's just do quickly kind of a world beat. Sort of a Euclidean style part. So let's just play on top of this. Oh, how did I not get there? Okay, hold on. Just those two. And let's work that sound though. Where is that guy? Let's add some FM, of course. And some effect. Shorten that sound. Let's get some more sounds. So let's hi-hat. Maybe is there a ride one of these synths? No, I guess you could do it with the hi-hat. Do differing amounts of velocity on this though. So on this one, do a little, keep that one there and make this one the loudest maybe, and this one just a little quieter. And that way if we copy them, we'll have like a nice little bouncy feeling to it. I gotta put those effects directly to the sound itself, because the effect was on the kick and that FM sound too. Let's see, pink noise. Am I into pink noise today? But let's put an effect on this FM here. I'm just gonna take the same thing that I have set up in here and copy it. Put this echo and drop it right on the FM. So I'll put it here first and then drop it right next to it. Or right in that cell. Come on, get in there. There you go. Okay, that's a little less. Listen to some of these parts. Man, that's weird. It's a little pedestrian. I'm gonna just delete it. And I preach this all the time. If it's not really doing it, just get rid of it. That's interesting. Haven't earned deleting it yet, but I might very soon. Again, kind of pedestrian. Gonna get rid of it. It sounds nice enough, but, and even this one, out of here. I'm just keeping the absolute keepers. That way I know, where I stand. The weirdness, that might come in handy a little later. But let's go to this wavetable. I have kind of a sine wave thing going on here. And I'll just start playing some parts in here. Get some more effect in there. Okay, I'll keep that for now, and I'm going to get another part real quick with another synth. I'm feeling like some maybe analog chords that I could kind of modulate, kind of basic channel style. Okay, computer glitched a little bit. Sorry about that. So I'm just gonna play some chords, and then I'll kind of work on the sound later. So let's just play some chords in here. I'll get it right. I gotta twist my hand here because I'm in a bad position, but. Okay, now that that's in there, I could work on the sound a bit. And first of all, I want to pitch it down maybe by an octave. And then work on the sound. Let's get one bar of it. Find what works best. Let's get that bass to come out. Everything's a little loud, so I gotta bring it all down. Hold on. Bring everything down at the same time because it was all kind of clipping. But let's get back to that part and find the one that works the best. Oh, that's nice and simple and nice. I like that. That's nice. I like this. Turn off the hi-hat for a second. Getting there. Remember, if you like what you see, please give me a like, because I always say I like to impress my friends with the amount of likes I get. I don't know about that weirdness. Let's see what the second weirdness does. Too weird for now. Out of here. See, you can't stay in love with any of your parts. You gotta be able to dismiss them as soon as they don't do what they need to be doing. That's interesting. Oh, this is that long one. Maybe I'll just take this part here. Get that hi-hat in there again. This thing's a mix. It's so drowning in a lot of effects. But yo, Rockcuts! Greetings from Portugal, he says, or she says. Greetings from New York. Yes, you could always save sounds to your library, but there are not enough Simple Sam's in the world left to be able to listen to Simple Sam's library anymore. And what I mean by that is that we tend to hoard these sounds, and then they become something that you know you have and you feel good about having, but never really ever use because you can't get the time to like actually listen to everything that you've been hoarding. So I found in my experience that best thing you could do is take your parts and evaluate immediately and really practice actively being able to like decide if this is good or if this is not good. It stays or it leaves. It stays or it leaves. And once you get good at that, you'll be making faster tracks. And that's the name of the game. That's the name of the game. Well, let's one more time evaluate what we have. Cesar Morera says, I like how it sounds, and this one can get the transient changed a little, and it will sound more into the drum groove. Yeah, sure. We got to tweak it. Right now, I'm just gathering. I'm still in the, if you guys have seen me work before, you know that I have this gathering stage that begins my tracks. I go through this part of the first phase, I guess, is the gathering, I call it. And then after that is the honing. And then after that, the completing and mixing and mastering and all that. But right now, I'm still in the gathering stage of the tracks. Yo Rockcut says, you only have 8 channels and the track is almost coming to life. Yeah, it's true. The least channels you have sometimes, and this one right here isn't even anything. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's already kind of working. Maybe some vocals next. I got to think about what we're going to do for next week. But remember, you're watching 343 TV. My name is Abe Duque. I am an instructor at 343 Labs. Come to our website. Check out our class schedules. Take a class with us. We have a lot of instructors that do this all day and every day. I have classes starting all the time. I have an immersive starting next week on Monday, which is Ableton every day for like 4 days a week, Monday through Thursday. We meet at 12:15. You want to get down with that, jump in. If not, take another class with somebody else. It doesn't have to be with me. There's also 343 Studio. Check that out. That 343 Studio is the kind of, how should I say, I always say it's like the dojo for music producers that, want to work out their craft. And it really is. And I even have a kind of a component of the 343 Studio that we're calling now the Ableton Dojo, where I'll come in and we just kind of hang out and do Ableton and get deep into like crazy Ableton stuff. Anyway, I guess we ran out of time. Well, thanks again for joining me. Come back next week. We're going to pick this up where we left it off, or where we leave it off now, and we'll see what we'll do with it. I want to start doing some more effects-based classes where we just talk about, things like maybe compression, maybe, break those things down. Or like we did today where we had a little bit of a component of kind of sound design, where we kind of went and did a lot with this Minimoog here, which is a beautiful instrument, isn't it? We started the stream, if you didn't join us till then, with just kind of working how this thing is set up and how it makes sounds, and just going through all the architecture of it. But yeah, anyway, yes, we will continue this fun next Friday. Come back 1 p.m. I'll see you there. And don't forget to tune in to John Selway's show tomorrow for either techno or electro. Bye. Yeah, Cookie in Tune says don't forget to like. Yes, please don't forget to like. If you're still here and you haven't hit the like button, please give me a like. Thank you everybody for joining us. See you next week.